Alrighty, I wanted to come and talk about something productive instead of going on and on and on about the other mentally ill people. Sorry, y'all. I just say instead of talking about the other mentally ill people, let's talk about um, mental health complications of serving in the army, and then we'll also further expose. Uh, that these childish gang stalkers will further expose their powerlessness. So, my uncle Reggie, I will always love my uncle. He's family, right? I'm not gonna be angry at my uncle. I mean, obviously, I love my child more. I don't appreciate him bullying my child. You know what I'm saying? I don't like my uncle. I don't like him at all for what he said about my child. And I did because y'all do know that Jacob has a father that loves him. Not going to give the details about Jacob's father, but Jacob does have a father that loves and cares about him. So, I'll talk to him further about what is going on. But I wanted to talk about, the fact that my uncle did serve in the military. And I wanted to talk about how military service affects a person's mental health. So, again, the person that came to the stalkers was taking advantage of mentally ill people. And mentally ill people are now trying to take advantage of my uncle, who is almost 70 years old. Again, almost 70 years of age. And he also served in the military. So let's talk about that. Military service can profoundly impact mental health, with service members and veterans experiencing higher rates of psychological disorders than the civilian population. Key complications include post traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, depression, anxiety disorders, and traumatic brain injury. These challenges are often compounded by substance abuse and military sexual trauma. So, you know, it would be obvious why my uncle would not only be avoiding his own trauma, but then not having the mental capacity to deal with the mentally ill gang stalkers. Okay? So, PTSD, rates of PTSD are significantly elevated among veterans compared to civilians. It can develop after experiencing or witnessing severe trauma, combat, or MST, and causes flashbacks, nightmares, and severe anxiety. Major depressive disorder and anxiety, extended periods of in high stress environments, unpredictable deployment schedules, and separation from family can trigger deep feelings of hopelessness, excessive worry, and panic disorders. Traumatic brain injury, often called a signature injury of post 9/11 service, TBIs occur from significant blows to the head or body. They frequently lead to overlapping cognitive and emotional complications, including mood swings, memory problems, and exacerbated depression. Substance use disorders. Many active duty members and veterans turn to alcohol or drugs to self medicate and cope with trauma, chronic pain, or untreated psychological symptoms. And military sexual trauma. Experiences of sexual assault or harassment during service create severe long-lasting mental and medical consequences. So let's go back up here, okay? Um, First of all, do I feel afraid for my life because I'm living with my uncle? I don't. Just to let y'all know, I do not feel afraid for our lives. I feel perfectly safe, okay? But I will tell you guys that it hasn't just been me, but it's been other people that have reported odd behavior from my uncle, and we all know that. So for the past several months, um, he has had, mood swings as well as memory problems. Okay. I don't know about exacerbated depression, but I've been around my uncle my whole life. Of course, I know a lot about him. Okay, a lot of the truth, not anything made up by a group of online people who don't have a fucking life. I know exactly who my uncle is. Okay, and you people are powerless. My uncle is a veteran who you guys are poking the bear. Now, yesterday, I got in my uncle's shit. I did. I got in his shit. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I talked to my uncle like he's my uncle. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, literally, like it was literally an argument yesterday. Me and him had fell out probably at least 4 times. I ain't worrying about my uncle putting his hands on me, and he ain't worrying about us putting our hands on him. But it's just the point that, you know what I'm saying, that he's doing all of this weird stuff, right? And then it's also the fact that the black sector is taking advantage of the fact that my uncle does have memory problems. I have had to remind him several times of who these people are. My uncle is hard of hearing. You're going to, listen, I'm not Candy Grand Prix. I got you all by your balls. I don't even know why you fronting. I can't stand people that front. You're basically weak as fuck. You take advantage. You took advantage of my uncle who is older. You people ain't shit. You couldn't slick a can of goddamn oil. Not to mention the fact that what's crazy is that all of you put together, my uncle's mental capacity and IQ is higher than all of you dipshits put together. Why would you call and take advantage of somebody in my uncle's condition? Y'all began harassing him when you knew that he had cancer. My uncle was diagnosed with cancer. You people are pathetic. You ain't won nothing. Y'all so dumb. My uncle is traumatized from being in the fucking military. Now, he's gotten older. Me and my mother and my aunt lived in this same house with my uncle for years until my mother bought her first house after her and my dad split up. So I know everything about my uncle. I know everything about him. I've been around him my entire life. So I know how he is. What is going on in y'all life? Apparently nothing much for you to continue to harass him. Clearly he's not in the state of mind to be dealing with this stuff. And this is one of the reasons why he's been trying. I am not going like it was really fucked up him getting angry at me because I went off on him last night. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And I didn't go off on him in that type of way. I mean, he said some really hurtful shit. This is family. Family does that sometimes, which is fucked up. But what I was trying to get through to my uncle is that you keep doing this, right? And so he's basically giving it to me in writing that he's extended our stay here with him. So I don't even believe that my uncle actually wants us to leave. So that's not true. Like, you keep it at this point, I kind of feel like he's trying to keep us here. He's not, my uncle doesn't have an intention to hurt us. And literally, like, y'all barking up the wrong fucking tree with that shit. I swear to fucking God. I'm going to tell you something. I think that what you're trying to do is you're trying to turn my uncle into a weapon against us. Let me tell you something. You don't want to fuck with me like that. You do not want to fuck with me like that. I'm just saying. Y'all be barking up the wrong fucking tree. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to take advantage of my uncle and his condition? Is that what you're trying to do? Yeah, we're mad and we're kind of upset at my uncle right now for that hurtful ass shit that he said. But you know what? At the end of the fucking day, who is the ones that keep harassing my family? None. But I think that my uncle would have probably still kind of acted a little weird. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that it wouldn't be what he's saying. You still have not proven to me that my uncle is a part of your group also. I think that it speaks volumes to how he can be disloyal at times, but you still haven't proven to me that he's a part of your group. Playing a video is not going to prove it. Prove to me that my uncle is a part of your gang stalking group. You can't. And I've already warned you, gang stalkers. I'm not playing checkers over here. I'm playing chess. I told you to leave us the fuck alone, didn't I? You can sit over there and try to talk slick all the fuck you want. You ain't doing nothing but digging your own goddamn grave. What you need to do is quit talking shit. You have no reason to talk shit. I don't actually know you people. You look retarded. I don't know any of you motherfuckers. Y'all a bunch of strangers on the goddamn internet. Mike, meeting up with somebody and sleeping with them does not mean that I knew you. You never know a person. Okay? I'm going to suggest that y'all cease and desist, is what I'm going to suggest. Leave my uncle alone. I believe that he might have went to Nam. My uncle, I think he's a Vietnam vet. I believe he went to war. He's been to war. He didn't just go in the military. My uncle has been to war. My uncle has served in the military. He didn't just go to military school or boot camp. My uncle actually served in one of these wars. See what I'm saying? And I think it's fucking hilarious how I can sense all of y'all fear. And you need to fear me. You do. Because you know what? I'm going to tell you something. I'm not the type of person to be running around here calling folks family members. I'm not. If I'm going to handle you, I'm going to handle you. I don't do shit like that. You've been stalking You stalked his sister, and then you want to run around here and act like he works for you. Now, my uncle, he does love his sister. I think that he's being a little disloyal to her. But then again, he's not calling you, you're calling him, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Not once did my uncle ever contact any of you people. Right? Right. And Mike, you're going to be the first person that's going to be questioned. Okay? This shit is sick. And you know what? There is no way that anybody in the Briscoe family is going to go down with a legacy or a reputation of supporting a dude that raped their family member and released revenge porn and has been talking crazy about her family for years. There's no fucking way that that's going to ever happen. I would suggest that y'all leave it alone. Maybe it will lighten your sentence, but all of this is being reported to the police. The fact that you're harassing I think my if I'm not mistaken, I believe that my uncle was in Vietnam. Let me check and see. I think he's a Vietnam vet. I'm gonna ask him because he'll tell me. It's not like he's not speaking to me. Hold on. He'll talk to me about it. Yeah, November 1st, 19. Yeah, my uncle served, I believe he served in Vietnam. If he's 70, if he's almost 70, that would, yeah, yeah. He had to have served in Vietnam. I'll have to go. I'm going to ask him about that tomorrow. I'll ask him about that. Right now, he's getting his rest, but I will ask him about that. If he served in Vietnam, and I believe that he did because the dates was from 55 to 75. So I'm sure that he served in Nam. Okay. So, you weird perverts. Well, yeah, I am giving him. I mean, nobody would ever think anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing about it is that that's domestic violence. Being stalked is factually domestic violence. And he should never participate in something like that. I wouldn't do that to him. I said, if somebody called me talking about you, I wouldn't do that to you, is what I told him. I was like, what are you thinking? So, yeah, I had a long conversation with him. And none of us deserve that. Tyrese doesn't deserve it. Can you imagine? Jacob is 13 years old. So we're, and I'm just like, shit, I'm ready to move out of Kansas City again. I'm not gonna say where I'm going. This time, if I move out of Kansas City, nobody will know where the hell we go. And trust me, I can. Cause that's fucked up. it doesn't, it doesn't take superhuman strength to stand up. Like, you do realize another reason why I'm being stalked is due to racism. This is racist shit. Kat and Tiffany were racist. This is the reason why this is happening. And to begin with, that's disgusting. And you know what? My mother would have never agreed with that. Nobody would ever agree with my uncle uh being a catalyst for hate and racism to his own family. Nobody would ever agree with that. That's horrible. You know, and this idiot Mike is monitoring court dates and stuff and getting angry about me having an attorney. You can't change that. And yeah, you will eventually be in jail, Mike. You just haven't went to jail yet. All of them are going to jail. All of you. I want you to prove to me that my uncle said I'm a part of your gang stalking group. You can't. My uncle is experiencing problems. And he's never once raised his hand to do anything to hurt us. But it could potentially cause emotional or psychological damage. I refuse to let that happen. I can promise you that you gang stalkers are going to lose. That's all I got to say about the situation. This is ridiculous. Okay? And y'all seem to have gotten worse throughout the years. It's gotten worse, you know? And so, even when Mike and Kat in that sector technically has been stalking my family for the past 13 years. They stalked my mother. They stalked my mother. Who do you think you are? You think you're just going to try to harm everybody in my family? And then what do you think you just going to, you know, because I'll handle you all by myself. See, y'all some wusses. Y'all want to get other people involved that don't know about the fucking situation. I know all about the situation. And I'm getting vengeance on y'all for stalking my motherfucking mama. You won't survive this. I promise y'all that you won't survive it. You stalked my mother. I had no idea that y'all were stalking my mother. I had no idea. My mother told you to get the fuck on somewhere when she realized what type of people y'all were. That was years ago. Y'all began to stalk my mother. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Derek. Exactly. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Cat Smith, you will not get away with what you have done. I can promise you. Okay? We are actually deeming the black sector is officially a terrorist organization. And even though the police have ignored it thus far, they won't anymore. Okay? All right, that's pretty much it. Let's see how far your obsession is going to get you into prison. Because I can promise you that it will. All right, that's pretty much it. Leave my uncle alone. Don't ever contact my uncle again, Cat. Don't ever call him again, Cat. All right, y'all.